Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Dodge Motordrome for the sixth race in the 2021 NRSL Jerky Pro Truck Series. We're gearing up for 100 laps of action around this half-mile track in the city of New York City, and I'm joined by Vince Freeze as we are tired this Saturday morning.
The Big Apple. Here we are, Zach. Even though we're a little tired, we're going to pull through this. Q-Man's on pole, as they like to say. Got an interesting front row as well. Tire strategy. And, of course, it's a short track. Cautions are off.
Quentin Moore on pole. Brad Lewis to his outside. I believe that's the highest qualifying rookie this year, maybe outside of Daytona. Row 2, you've got Gene Sanford and Benjamin Ice. Row 3, Henry Sanford and Max Anderson. Row 4, Gatlin Downey and R.J. Bishop. And in row 5, Audra Baranowskis and Carter Friesen. The top line tends to be the dominant line here at the Dodge Motordrome. Yael Carillo won this race last season in a heated battle with James Ellison. The pit window can be anywhere from about 55 laps to 70 laps, so we'll have to see what kind of strategies the drivers pull off today. As Vince mentioned, caution flags are off on the short tracks, as Zach Rogers, with a terrible qualifying effort, starts in 41st place. The 2018 winner when we came to this track was Tony Green. Looking at drivers that did not qualify for the Cup race that are in this race include Laura Chung, Christian Vargas, James Ellison. Those are the three that did not make the Digital Storm Cup Series show. One thing to look out for will be the pit wall right there next to Max Anderson's truck. If you're coming out side by side, we usually have a wreck, so it will be interesting to see what happens here today.
Driver, start your engine!
So the dome is shut tonight, Vince. Stadium is packed. And I believe there's a football practice going on in the infield. So that's one unique thing about this racetrack.
That's Dodge Motordrome for you. Got a lot of things going on, just like the city of it never sleeps, right? What a view right there.
Winning the race last week at Rockingham was Donovan Cage. He broke a string of Digital Storm Cup Series winners, which included Charles Sanford, Zachary Fitzwater Sr., and Nate Rogers. The only rookie winner on the year is Laura Chung back at Daytona. Gatlin Downey leads the points by 2 points over Baranowskis and Anderson as we are green flag racing, and Benjamin Ice goes right up to the painted red groove.
Brad Lewis, the rookie, trying to hang in with Quinn and Moore. See, he's 3 wide back there.
Brad Lewis trying to work the top groove. We mentioned it's the dominant line here at the Dodge Motordrome. Quentin Moore's going to hold them off. Gene Sanford in third as Ice and Anderson battle it out for fourth. You do not want to get stuck on the bottom. There you can see it right on the exit of the corners where it really bites on the top and the bottom gets tight underneath another truck.
Tire wear will be pivotal as we get later in the run. Brad Lewis washed up the hill a little bit in the front. Still 3 wide back there, way in the back.
Carter Friesen's been qualifying very well this season. He's got an average starting position of 15.6 coming into tonight's race, but through 5 races, his average finishing position a 28.6 with no top 10s. We'll see if he can turn that around tonight as Baranowskis will look to take away 8th place, as battle for 10th is between Derek Hamill and Nico Tringali. There's last year's winner, Vince. Yael Carillo, currently running in 13th place.
Yeah, he's just biding his time. Has to get on the outside line, though. I don't think the inside's the place to be for passes as well. As you can see, Tringali's going to try. Let's see. Oh.
How about Jonathan Wong in the 74 coming into this race? 8th in the point standings. 2 top 5s, 2 top 10s on the season. Kind of one of those few drivers we did not expect to see top 10 in the points. I'd say the other driver included in that is Gatlin Downey, and I guess you could say Max Anderson's performance this year so far has been quite shocking. As coming into this race, we've got 3 drivers who have gotten 3 top 5s on the season: Downey, Baranowskis, and Anderson. And also with 3 top 10s on the season, James Ellison and Zach Rogers. So the top 5 in points, all with 3 top 10s, top 3 in the points, 3 top 5s. It's Henry Sanford trying to find the way by Benjamin Ice. Ice is going to take it. Now Max Anderson looking to take 5th place and continue that top 5 streak, as Quentin Moore hasn't really checked out from Brad Lewis, but he's holding him off for the time being. See him trying to cut down there on the exit, get that run down the banking.
Yeah, the diamond in the corner will be key. Now, Brad Lewis is a rookie, right? We don't know what he's got on these long runs of the short tracks. This is our real first short track race of the season after last week's debacle. It's interesting. He seems to try to get a clean air in the nose, but Quentin Moore's doing the old veteran move. A little block pass right there if he tries.
Fall off on this track can get upwards of 2 to 3 seconds, depending how long you go on your set of tires. Right now, the fall off hasn't really hit up front, but if Quentin keeps leaving the top open, he's allowing Brad a chance to get a run. Let's go to the back of the field, see who's struggling at the back. It's Colt Hudson, Mitchell Collins, and Dylan Ibrahimian are at the back of the field right now. Jack James, Zach Rogers, we mentioned, started 41st. He's trying to make some headway on the bottom. And there's so much traffic back here, I think he can make it work a little bit. You see it just gets so tight there at the exit of the corner. Christian Vargas, Colton Schwartz, Daniel Bouchard. Deanna Jones struggling currently in 30th place. Will Parrish, the 92 of Zachary DeLello. There's Nicholas Jawit, who almost got a top 10 run at Rockingham. There's James Ellison. He's down in 25th place. I think starting on the inside line didn't help out the runner-up finisher from last season. About Vince Friesen, the 12, passing Roy Ribbleton. That would be for 21st place. There's our Daytona winner. Laura Chung comes into this race 10th in the point standings. Sam Young, Donovan Cage, last week's winner. 6 career wins now, Vince, for Donovan Cage and that number 6 team, Norm Benning Racing. They are currently racing Logan York for 17th place. Stephen Colon 16th, Downey 15th, Lucas Catano 14th, and then Carrillo Wong and Derek Hamelaz. Nico Tringali has got 10th place away from the 32.
Yep, that's for one of those leechers, as they like to say, coming up here and trying to spoil the fun. Let's see if they can make it another win on the season.
So Carter Friesen kind of lagging behind in 9th as Baranowskis is trying to find the way to get by RJ Bishop for 7th, as Henry Sanford and Max Anderson are duking it out again for 5th place. 20 laps into the race, and the fastest lap belongs to Nico Tringali with a 17.495. As just 2 drivers have not run a lap time under an 18.0. Baranowskis trying to get by Bishop on the inside line.
Yeah, the tires aware that inside line is almost like ice. No pun intended there, but RJ Bishop will have the run. Oh, here we go. A little outside, though. A little outside, inside equalness.
From what I can see, it looks like Baranowskis is able to bite the bottom better than RJ is able to make the most out of the top. You can see they're pretty even off of turn 2, and then Bishop kind of gets that run on the exit of 4, but this battling is allowing Anderson on up to drive away.
I have to bust down my favorite lines, Zach, the old ebb and flow, right? You ebb and flow on the bottom and on the top, and you can see that. I love this angle right here. Get a full shot.
This is also allowing Friesen and Tringali to close the gap from behind, so if Baranowskis can't get it to work on the inside line, that's going to allow them to maybe pass her on the outside line, as Quinton Moore and Brad Lewis have checked out from third place Gene Sanford, as Benjamin Ice is continuing to look for a way around the younger of the two Sanford drivers. How about Henry Sanford? He started the season off bad. He's made his way up to 13th in the points after getting 2 straight top 10 finishes, including a top 5 last week at Rockingham. Things looking to be going in the right direction for this 87 team, as Gene Sanford, his younger sister, jumped up 5 positions in the points with her finish last week. She is currently 26th in the points, but yet to get a top 5 or top 10 on the season. As Henry's going to try and make it work on the inside on Benjamin Ice. That's not really going to pan out, and now Max Anderson is challenging him for 5th place on the outside.
Anderson, Mr. Consistency, man. He's just been really right there. 5s, 10s, even top 15s throughout the running order. Each of the races we've been into. Maybe excluding Daytona, but that was Daytona.
And man, the battle between Bishop and Baranowskis continues, and just look at all the trucks that have caught up and jumbled up behind them. This is really setting up for what will likely be the battle for 4 positions inside the top 10. And we mentioned, you know, the jump from 11th to 10th is 2 points, and each of those positions is 2 more points. So they're very crucial points for someone like Baranowskis or, you know, Carillo or whoever is currently looking like they're in the fight for the championship, because this is a season-long battle now in Jerky Pro Truck Series. If you didn't catch the memo over the offseason, no longer a playoff system being used down here in Jerky Pro Truck Series.
Yeah, this is every race. Fight for everything or be left down in the dust. And right now, Baranowskis, for the last, I would say, 15 laps back, just been fighting on the bottom.
Checking the fall off here. It looks like Bishop is down to about 9/10 of a second, and Baranowskis is running about the same lap time on the bottom as he's running on the top. So these two are just practically even. Friesen's trying to find a way to push Bishop by. That would be another position for him.
There it is.
Oh, and there it is. Look at the run Bishop was able to get, and now it's Friesen versus Baranowskis. Derek Hamill finds himself fighting for a spot inside the top 10 with Nico Tringali.
You know, Zach, you said this last week, if I remember, the short tracks are neutralized. The rookies might actually have a better chance to race well here and possibly win. And Brad Lewis has proven that point, because look how close he is.
And Brad Lewis is Zachary Fitzwater Sr.'s protege. Got a ride here with Stuart Haas Racing's, you know, jump down to the Truck Series thanks to him. And right now he's proven it, but if you look at the point standings, he is currently 44th in the points, 2nd worst out of all full-time drivers. He's got an average finish of 32.8 and an average starting position of 25.6 coming into today's event. The only driver worse in the points than him is Will Parrish by a 3-point difference. But if he keeps his cards right today, Vince, this top 5 finish could shoot him up the point standings.
Yeah, I think for a rookie, it's not really about winning the championship or even Rookie of the Year. It's about finding your consistency, because you don't know what's going to happen next season, right? Next season could be a whole different animal, as you see he tries to work the top there. And to get the consistency now in this season's long points battle, it's proven in battleground tests, as I like to say. There's the back.
Zach Rogers had fallen to 40th. He's back up to 38th, trying to find a way to work the top. Not the race he wanted. He came in 5th in the points, 34 points behind Gatlin Downey. Speaking of Gatlin Downey, where is the 75 truck running right now? He is currently in 16th, but he finds himself on the bottom. And, of course, the closest drivers in the points to him, Baranowskis and Anderson, 2 points back, are both currently racing inside the top 10. Though that is not too far away from Gatlin Downey. There you can see the 21. As now Bishop has been put in a world of his own. as Friesen will finally complete the pass on Baranowskis for 8th place. And we'll see if they single file it up now, if they'll be able to maybe try and catch back up to the main pack. But, you know, those guys are pretty much just gone at this point. As the gap from Gene Sanford up to Brad Lewis is almost 2 seconds now.
Well, I'm looking at Zach. You're right. Quinton Moore gets the bite on the bottom, but Brad Lewis isn't getting the run on 3 and 4. He seems to be consistent on 1 and 2. He's close here. He might have a shot. But yeah, he just fades away a little bit. Just a little bit.
The big thing to think about now is lap traffic. They are closing up on Delon Ibrahimian. And we've seen in the past where, you know, the leader, he thinks he can maybe get by the lap truck because they're running so much slower. He thinks he can get by on the bottom, but that always opens the door for second place if they're close by. As it's now
for Quinton Moore.
2-second lead for Quinton Moore over Gene Sanford.
Yeah, I was just going to say, these guys have checked out. It's, yeah, I don't know what even sight. RJ Bishop's in a world of his own, too.
Max Anderson and Henry Sanford racing it out now for 5th place once again. This has been the constant battle inside the top 5 aside from the leaders. And Anderson will hold the position. As I thought I saw side by side for a second. But as you mentioned, RJ in a world of his own. Baranowskis is trying to fight back on Carter Friesen. As Hamill now holds 10th place. Carillo up to 11th. And look at Vince Freeze up to 12th. At the beginning of the race, he was running just outside the top 20. How about a run for this rookie driver out of Team Penske?
He was fast in practice, Zach. I think he was 2nd or something like that. He was really up there. Maybe it's just that wall run pace. And speaking of wall run pace, I wonder who has the best tire fall off. And that'd be a key indicator of what's going on today. Let's see.
It looks like up here, at least, Henry Sanford might be the best off, but he was making a move on the inside of Max Anderson. You want to make the move on the top. But I think the pit strategy will really show us. It's actually more so about a second of fall off, not really 2.
Brad's right there.
The pit strategy could really impact who wins this race. If Brad decides to pit a lap before Quinton Moore, you know, busy pit roads are not fun on short tracks, as we're officially at lap 50.
We've seen some wild accidents, too, on short tracks. You see that perfect camera angle, as I like to say. With the side-by-side battle, like in the back over there. Yael's in the top 10. Now he cracked it.
Zach Rogers has climbed back up to 35th. So they're in the window now. Any lap you pit now, I think if you pit first, you're looking pretty good.
Just going to blink first. That's the old game we play at these places sometimes.
And
there it is.
Quinton Moore is going to come down pit road. Gene Sanford, Max Anderson, Bishop, Baranowskis, Hamill, Friesen, and many others. Lucas Catano, Owen Miles. Oh, Bradley Ream from the back of the field. That's a pretty smart play. And now here comes Brad Lewis. Look how close they're going to come into pit road. Carillo will stay out.
Oh.
It's pretty much
Somebody
everything.
missed pit road.
Josiah Robinson missed the pit entrance. And it looks like he's done.
Forward Chung also missed it too, Zach. Some people, I think, else missed it.
Well, this is the camera we'll be staying on. Here is the pace truck right here. So we won't really know who's leading until the pit cycle is complete.
Did Yael come in? Let's see. I think he did.
Ooh, Benjamin Ice and I believe that's Henry Sanford were almost side by side. It's really coming out of pit road that you got to watch out for. They can be side by side on the track, but if you're side by side coming out of pit lane, that's when things get dicey. Quinton Moore is officially the race leader once again. 1.3 second lead over Brad Lewis. Brad pit the lap after him, so he should theoretically be able to close a bit of the distance. There you see the 39 of Zach Rogers. A lot of these drivers are going to be a lap down now, so that's really going to impact this racing. So I believe that is everybody off of pit road. As you see, Josiah Robinson had the issue. And we now have only 30 trucks on the lead lap. James Ellison is a lap down in 32nd. Zach Rogers is the first car on the lead lap in front of race leader Quinton Moore in 29th place. As it's now a two-second gap, and new second-place driver Gene Sanford put Max Anderson up to third.
Yeah, I think Brad Lewis is going to start falling off that. He doesn't have the experience.
Well, I would say at least the top 10 is a lock for the 4 with where he pit compared to the rest of the field. As you see the battle for 5th now between Benjamin Ice and Henry Sanford. RJ Bishop still in 7th, Baranowskis 8th, Hamill 9th, Carter Friesen 10th. No real big movers inside the top 10 from the pit strategy, Vince. I'd say the biggest one is Brad Lewis going from 2nd to 4th.
Yeah, I wonder if Carillo, you see and Vince Freeze, actually, those guys were the latest to stay out. Maybe the fresher tires could work into their favor. We'll see it later in the run.
Carrillo is 12th, 10 seconds behind. Sam Young up to 13th place, and there's Vince Freeze, as you mentioned, in 15th. Those were the two we saw stay out the longest, so they definitely didn't lose as much time as I thought they would. As pitting on crowded pit roads tends to be where all the chaos really starts to unfold. Gatlin Downey, 19th place. Donovan Cage in 21st. See Deanna Jones, 25th. Zach Rogers, 29th. As Quinton Moore is under fire from the lap truck of Nicholas Jawit. Now, this is what Moore doesn't want. He doesn't want to be under fire from lap traffic, because that'll allow, there you see it, a 10th for Gene Sanford with 38 laps of racing left.
But Gene's in the world of hurt, too. If you look back there, I think she's also in lap traffic. It's kind of a, yeah, there it is.
It's all about how you get by it. Gene's trying to go to the inside of Ibrahimian. That opens up the door for Max Anderson. And if you think about it from a season-long perspective, you shouldn't really care about the win here with Quinton Moore 2 seconds off in the distance, because for Anderson and Gene Sanford, he is just someone who's down here for 6 races this season. As I'm pretty sure Evans Gardner Motorsports would love to see all 4 of their drivers win a race this season. We've already seen Fitzwater do it. Amanda Evans has run 3 races with a top 5 and 2 top 10s, and those 3 starts so far. She's got 2 races left. And then Allison Rain, who's been tearing up the Cup Series, hasn't even made a start yet. And you know, crazy fact is that Allison doesn't have a single career Jerky Pro Truck Series win.
EGM, I think, was one of those top. I think I said, or you said, one of us said that they would be a top team in the part-timers. I think it could hold true. We'll see, though.
So I'm looking up the sheet. I don't believe... Yeah, Quinton Moore has never won a Jerky Pro Truck race before either. Neither has Amanda Evans. So it would be a first for 3 of the 4 drivers. As Quinton Moore has cleared away from Nicholas Jawit, now he's trying to work on Zach Rogers as Brad Lewis finds himself back up to 3rd. Henry Sanford has a hold over 5th place over Benjamin Ice. How about Benjamin Ice? His season so far has been pretty dismal. He comes in 31st in the point standings with just a single top 10 on the season. This is a good run that he needed. Running for Roush Fenway Racing as they made the dip down to the Jerky Pro Truck Series. RJ Bishop will be in the Digital Storm race tomorrow. He's having a good run today in the truck race. As the fight is on for 10th place, and it looks like Nico Tringali will take it away from Carter Friesen. We got a bit of a gap from 15th place Vince Fries to 16th place Lucas Catano.
He's going to start to stabilize that for sure.
Fastest lap on the race will go to Logan York with a 17.356. The slowest lap is by Bradley Ream, a 17.737. However, Ream currently runs in, 31st place. As now up to 27th has been put a lap down. Zach Rogers up to 28th place. As after losing second place, Gene Sanford has faded from her closest competitors, Brad Lewis and Max Anderson, who are stuck on the inside line. As Quinton Moore also stuck on the inside line.
Yeah, I think for Quinn, though, he just has so many people between him and second place Anderson. He just can stay there and chill. Whereas Anderson, he can't be stuck.
And even if he gets passed here by Rogers and Jawit, you got Nereza and then a gap again to Ellison. There's really not much to worry about here. As Anderson's going to clear Teppensaw. That's a good opportunity to move to the top. If anyone can get there, it could be this 88 truck.
He just got to get a good Parrish there. Let's see if he can get by Ibrahimian and then start mowing him down. But he's got to go quick. There's only 10 minutes left in this race, or less, maybe 5.
It's about 18 seconds a lap. So, 3 laps a minute. 22 laps to go. It's about 7 minutes. Maybe a little less than
running
that.
out of time. Running out of time for sure.
I want to talk about Derek Hamill in the 32, who's running in 9th place. He hasn't made a lot of races in the Digital Storm Cup Series, and down here in the Jerky Pro Truck Series, he has only received 1 top 10 on the year so far. 34th in the points standings for him. It's looking like a good day in the points for a couple of guys that are down in the dumps point standings wise. As if you look at the top of the point standings, it's looking like a really good day for Anderson and Baranowskis, who run 2nd and 8th respectively, while Gatlin Downey, the points leader, sits in 18th place. James Ellison, Zach Rogers, other drivers up there in the points having bad days. 28th for Zach Rogers, 31st for Ellison. As Anderson has closed the gap to under 2 seconds, Vince. 1, 2, 3 trucks between him and Quinton Moore. Well, Quinton did pit first out of everybody. I'd like to say that the tire wear is no longer in his favor. And Anderson pit the lap after him, I believe, with Brad Lewis.
Oh, yeah, it's coming down, Zach. It's only lost time there, but it's under 2 seconds.
Yeah, and it was up to 3 at one point. It'll be 16 to go this time by. Ellison's peeking to the top. Oh, and Quinton had to give him the lane. That's going to be huge. That'll just leave Jack James and Ibrahimian. You can't fight Ellison for too long here. You either got to stay in front of him or let him by and get behind him, because here comes Jack James now. But even if Anderson gets to Quinton Moore, we don't know for a fact that he'll win this just surefire pass Quinton for the lead and win it, because Ellison caught Yael Carillo last year, and after a 15-lap battle, he just couldn't find the way around him.
Catching's one thing, passing's another, as they say.
Brad Lewis is looking to have a good finish either way, though. He's back down in the 4th place as Gene Sanford has passed him back. There's no real battles going on inside the top 10. Carrillo up to 11th, Vince Fries up to 14th. just got to bide your time if you're Quinton Moore. 18.309 to Anderson's 18.304, so they're running about the same lap time. That could be the experience talking between the two drivers. As you see, Josiah Robinson, the only driver to retire from the event. We saw him miss pit road, so we won't have to take another look at that. And nobody crashed coming out of pit road. The strategy tomorrow should be very interesting. We mentioned that you can make it 60, 65 laps. There's just no point doing that here in the Truck Series when the race is only a 100-lap race long.
You'd be giving way too much to the field if you go 15 extra laps on the tires.
Now, if we had cautions on and you were trying to get a caution and have the whole field a lap down, you might get something out of that. But with cautions off, there is no point pitting any later than probably lap 53, which is, I believe, what the field did tonight.
I think say Zach Moore at the top lane here. I think he just won this race. I just think there's too much traffic now between him and Anderson.
That's another two drivers. That's Nereza and Roy Ribbleton. Those are points, valuable points for James Ellison if he can get them both. So how about mover of the day? Zach Rogers, I believe, is the mover of the day after starting 41st. He currently runs in 27th place. That I might be mistaken on that one, but that's the most noticeable one for me. Call me biased.
And Moore going to the top here, cruising. 2 seconds, he should be safe to go. Is EGM, man. I feel like EGM's been a storyline within a storyline all season in both series.
They've currently got 5 wins in the Digital Storm Cup Series, 3 from Rain and 2 from Fitzwater. And if Quinton gets it done tonight, that'll be 2 wins for the 77 truck. 1 from Fitzwater and 1 from Quinton Moore. As Quinton and Amanda are still looking for victory lane up in the Digital Storm Cup Series this year. As Yael Carillo has popped his head inside the top 10, up to 9th place. Baranowskis down to 10th, and Tringali up to 8th. Oh, Quinton finds himself on the bottom, but I think it's too little too late. Oh, wait. Max Anderson's right there.
Oh, it's be close.
Quinton better hope he can hold off on the bottom. 3 laps to go. It's a second gap, but he is pinned to the inside. Can he clear up in front of Ellison? Yes, he will.
Well, Stanwood's right there. Looks like he's going to stay in the meet right there and just cruise, I think. Anderson's got to get around now, and I don't think there's enough time.
Yeah, time just ran out there. Anderson needed him to be pinned to the bottom and just really start fading.
Sam Young, top 10. Good day for Penske right there for him.
Oh, man, and that drops Baranowskis out of the top 10. That's going to be a huge point stay for Max Anderson. White flag in the air at the Dodge Motordrome. Last lap around this track, don't take too long. Checkered flag in hand, and Quinton Moore will get EGM their second Jerky Pro win of the season. And that is the 4th Cup Series win down in the Jerky Pro Truck Series for a Cup Series driver.
In the words of Fitzwater, EGM will stand for easy going then, mate, because that's what Quinton Moore did. He controlled this race, and he dominated today. I don't know if did he lead every lap? No, other than the pit cycle. I think he led every lap that was non-pit cycle for sure, though.
I believe you are correct. It was every lap, but whenever he was down pit road. Max Anderson will get a second place run. That's best out of the guys going for the title, and he will take the points lead back with his 4th top 5 on the season. Jane Sanford with a 3rd place effort. That is her first top 5 and top 10 on the year. Brad Lewis, the 4th place effort. That'll definitely shoot him up the points from 44th in the standings. And Henry Sanford's consistency continues now. He's on a bit of a hot streak of his own. I believe he will now jump inside the top 10 in points, 2 top 5s and 3 top 10s on the year now to date. Benjamin Ice, RJ Bishop, 6th and 7th. They were up front all day. Carillo with a late race charge, and Sam Young, 8th and 9th. And Nico Tringali rounds out the top 10. As we see Baranowskis 11th, Vince Freeze 12th. Derek Hamill fading a bit at the end there, down to 14th. Jonathan Wong 15th, Gatlin Downey 16th. Friesen, a much better run than what he's had, but he could not get the top 10 done today. 17th place effort for him. As we see Zachary DeLello and Owen Miles, rookies, also inside the top 20. That'll do it for us here tonight for the NRSL Jerky Pro Truck Series. Vince Freeze and I will see you guys tomorrow for the Digital Storm Cup Series.
I don't know.